Force, Brigadier General Blaine Holt. He is also the former U.S. Deputy Military Representative to NATO and a Newsmax contributor, along with retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer. He was also the National Security Advisor for Trump's 2020 campaign and is also the president of Project Sentinel.
Hey, Rita.
Wow. Let's get to this. This is interesting. What we just heard, you guys, some big news developing there from Zach, who's there in Ukraine. Your thoughts initially, Blaine, with what we were just hearing. First, the reaction coming in. Let's get from what we just heard from Zelenskyy just moments ago, sending out that tweet saying that he is ready to sign the minerals deal. How significant is that, Blaine?
It's very significant. It's the tack I thought he'd take after he kind of had some time after yesterday's disaster to kind of recompose, maybe consult with his own folks. He certainly was consulting with leaders in Europe, and he's going to try to walk it back, but it's not going to be so easy. So President Trump will probably say, well, the terms have changed a little bit here. Why don't we start with your apology, and then we'll work our way up from there. And still, President Zelenskyy, while he says he's ready to sign that deal, has not let go of another United States position. He is saying this is a start of security guarantees, but it's not enough. Well, we're not putting F-16 jets up on that border to create the potential for World War III. That's off the table. It's an economic security arrangement, and we're taking a massive risk pre-hostilities ending by signing such a deal. So this is the best he's going to do, but it better start with contrition. And if he can't, there's other folks in Ukraine who certainly can.
What's interesting is what Blaine was just hitting on, the sort of minerals deal and the security issue. That seemed to be a bit of obviously the sticking point a lot, also even the White House, that the whole world got to see. He seems to be separating it a little bit now, Tony. But if this minerals deal comes through, and it looks like, again, hopefully now both sides are ready to sign, the point that President Trump was making, Tony, was that that would give some security, because if America is invested in this minerals deal, which could be very lucrative in terms of paying back America for the billions that we have given to Ukraine, we're not going to want Russia coming in and disrupting business and financial and American interests and American taxpayers' money that could be coming in to help us. So, I mean, when you look at all of that, Tony, don't you think that Zelenskyy needs to sort of see, well, there is security attached to minerals deal? Maybe not all that he wants, but some.
So let's circle back to President Trump's comments earlier this week about the EU being formed to basically harm the United States economically. That's where this is all coming from, Rita. Look at who's saying what and how. Right now, as we speak, Zelenskyy finally caved. Why did Europe put him up to this? As Zach said, every European leader has closed ranks between him because they wanted the mineral resources. They are upset that we're going to get it. That's why they told Zelenskyy to do what he did. This is all about economics, and President Trump is the master. So, and by the way, how many security arrangements do they need? Every European nation has signed an agreement with NATO. I mean, with Ukraine. So why now are you looking to us? We're saying we'll be there. We don't need to actually put it in writing. We're going to invest. We're going to speak with our resources. So, Rita, this was all a canard. His advisors, Zelensky's advisors, some said not to do this. Some, I think, told him to do it. Keir Starmer was here this week prepping for this. Macron was here prepping for this. This is all about the EU trying to once again screw the United States. I'll just say it. That's what this was about. I think Zelenskyy has seen that he was badly advised. To Blaine's point, I'm skeptical. I think Blaine is correct. He should do this. I still don't think he will. Gee, I'd be curious if TMZ's staking out Georgetown, seeing if he goes out and buys a suit and a tie over the weekend. Just say it. Because he better show up, he better be in a suit, and he better be ready to apologize if he wants to get this thing back on track.
Wow. So you don't think he's going to do it? I just heard you say that. Is that right, Tony?
I don't think so. Blaine and I disagree on this. I don't think he's got the courage. I hope Blaine's right and I'm wrong.
Blaine, you think he will. Now, let's also talk about the other thing that Zach said. Zach had some bombshells there in his report talking about Turkey saying that they're ready to sort of play this mediator role. How do you see that on this equation, complicating things, like what, trying to take it away from the U.S. and trying to now say that they'll be the leadership position? Is that what Turkey's trying to do, to cause a wedge here?
I think President Trump would applaud Erdogan if he could get something done. Go ahead and try. I mean, this is back to the future. So this takes us back to March of the start of this war 3 years ago, and there in Istanbul was a deal that was about to be signed when Boris Johnson came in and advised Zelenskyy, "Nope, we've got your back. We'll do whatever it takes. We're going to go fight the Russians with you." And so they walked away, and now here we are again. If Erdogan can get this done, President Trump will applaud. There is no guarantee assured that those rare earths even exist. And so it's not really a big, massive loss on our part. What I see forming up is the potential for a massive new world order shift. Whether Zelenskyy signs or not, the Europeans seem to have this bent for wanting to go to war with Russia. They want to keep the war going, in their own words. They want to just double down, more weapons, more money. They're having a security conference to ratify such things, and they're looking at different ways to get it done. The United States is not going to participate with that. In fact, President Trump realizes that with so well-endowed nuclear weaponized nations, that this only leads to one destructive path, and that fighting the Russians is not nearly a good idea if we can start to work with them and get everybody aligned around their economic interests. But I think we're going to see a lot out of the EU to block this, and it's playing with fire because it could play with our very membership in NATO.
Yeah, and also we're playing with world security. There are so many things at stake. Tony, before I let you go, the other big thing that Zach was talking about are some of these strikes by Russia, what Russia is now doing. And one of the locations is a medical center and also hitting the energy infrastructure. Your thoughts about what Putin is trying to do at this moment militarily?
Russia's trying to slow down Ukraine's ability to react. Right now, Rita, the war is lost. I'll just be blunt. All the Russians are doing are consolidating their gains within the 4 provinces and doing what they can to slow down any response. They're trying to buy time. And I'm not trying to put a soft tip on the fact they're killing people. I'm not pro-Russian. I'm just saying that you've had the most incompetent national security team possible in charge of this government up until January 20th of this year. They messed this up badly. And the people of Ukraine continue to pay the price for that incompetence. So I'm not trying to say the Russians are somehow right in this. They're not. They're killing people. It needs to end. But the bottom line is this. There's no military force out there that could stop the Russians because we have demilitarized ourselves by giving everything to Ukraine uselessly. It's time we accept that fact. We work with our allies to find a way to conclude this effort without more Ukrainians dying.
Yeah, everybody, I think, wants peace, and I hope it happens very, very soon. I hope you're wrong, Tony. I love you, but I hope you're wrong. And I hope he does sign that deal. Thank you, guys.
I hope I'm wrong, too.
Yeah, thank you both very, very much on such a big topic and big breaking news. Thank you.